So yeah, welcome to Mental Perspectives episode 4. Today with me is Stevielife, and I'll give you the microphone immediately. Please introduce yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Stevielife. I am a Twitch streamer, a content creator, and I'm doing it now for almost 2 years, I think. My main game is Dead by Daylight, and yeah, I'm very excited to be here. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. So how did you become a content creator? How did that journey start for you?
How did it start? Okay, so pretty much is that I used to do YouTube before, and I was very interested in it, and I did like the whole vlogging thing and all that. Eventually, I started watching different streamers, and I got into the whole Twitch thing, and I was like, maybe I can do this too. I of course didn't really want to because I thought I was not really good for it and all that. But then after talking to different streamers and stuff, they told me, please go ahead, do it. You can do it. We believe. So eventually I started, and here we are. So
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume you had probably a lot of great interactions with other people while streaming.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time. So is there like a favorite story that really fueled your passion that you have?
I don't know if you know the streamer. A lot of people do know. It's Ving3 and Vega. I was watching him for a while, and especially when I was not doing well, the entire community and him were always very nice and very, very loving and very supportive. And he pretty much just said to me, just do it. Go ahead, just do it. And he was like one of the biggest influences of why I started. Then there was another streamer, Spooky Loops. He at one point he hit partner, and he said to the chat, if I can do it, everybody can do it. And that also really fueled the fire of like, okay, maybe I should just try. So yeah.
Cool. All right. So obviously when there's positive interactions, there's also the negative interactions. Like maybe we can watch that, or we can look at that from like two standpoints. Like first, like just general streaming negative interactions. And then we can jump into after game interactions too.
Okay, I have to watch out what I say.
Absolutely. As I said, we can cut things out if you want me to.
Okay, good. All right. Where should I start?
Let's say with just from the streaming aspect.
Just the streaming aspect, like when I am streaming.
Yes.
Oof. Okay, first of all, I'm a girl on the internet.
Yeah.
So what happened? Yeah. So that happened. So what happens is that a lot of people, especially in Dead by Daylight, probably in different games too, but for me, it's Dead by Daylight. If I play that game, and especially as a killer main, a lot of people do not really like it when they don't win, right? Okay. So they find me on Twitch or something, and they are just not that happy that I'm also a girl. Mm-hmm. So either it happens only like, oh, in the chat, they are very salty. They're like, oh, you suck and all that stuff and very mean things. And it's fine. I got used to it eventually, which is actually very sad to even say. But what I never expected with streaming is that a lot of people go as far to also go to your Steam, to go to your Instagram, to go to your Twitter, whatever. It doesn't matter, Discord. And try to send you hate from different accounts every single day. And that is something that I never expected that would happen until it happened. So yeah, that is something that in the beginning I really had to get used to. Now it doesn't affect me as much anymore. But as you know, and probably people that are watching that knows me, know that I suffer from depression. So when I am at a really low place or a really low mindset, some of the words that they do say can get to me badly. Yeah. And I learned how to deal with it. But sometimes when I'm having like a bad day and not feeling confident or not feeling really good or something, then it does trigger something. Yeah. Which is what they want. So yeah. So that does happen. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I know that aspect very well, especially like when you're starting out as a streamer, getting that negative feedback, like, and it's usually somehow directed to how you look or what you are, to just try to find like a quick path to hurting you.
Yeah.
And especially when you're starting out, that's really like, it's colossal.
Yeah,
To say
it's
the least.
colossal. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like all
definitely.
of a sudden you wonder why would people go through all these lengths to make you feel horrible.
Yeah, I think it comes from a place for them. Either they are very unhappy in their own life, or they on purposely enjoy hurting other people. But the thing is that I think a lot of people forget is that we are actually we are behind the camera. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're not human or just a
Mm,
robot, you know. And I think a lot of people forget that aspect a lot, that we're also human, you know. So
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
So interestingly enough, there's also like psychological theories for that.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, um, there's like two psychological experiments that are very like interesting with that. Are you familiar with the Milgram experiment?
No, go ahead, tell me.
The Milgram experiment was one of the major like popular experiments back in like after World War II,
Mm-hmm.
and Milgram thought, okay, are the Germans just like, do they respect authority more than everyone else? And that's why the whole thing went down pretty bad in World War II. And
Mm-hmm.
so they made an experiment where they told basically test persons to shock someone if they gave a wrong answer. And the
Okay,
shocks
yeah.
got like higher and higher and worse and to a point where they were absolutely deadly.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did find out is that basically everyone succumbed to the pressure of the guy in the lab coat saying, do it. Which, like, what we can what we can deduct from that in like a relation to the internet is, so they couldn't see the person. They just heard their voice.
Yeah.
And these are factors of dehumanization. Like,
Yeah.
they know, like, from a cognitive brain that's a person, but the reptilian brain doesn't really realize it anymore. They don't like they don't see the human, so it's just a maybe. And it's like very similar in the internet, because in the end most of us are just a nickname. I mean, as a streamer, we also have a face usually. Not all of us, but
Not
some of
all of
us.
us. Yeah.
Some of us have a face, and they like forget that there's actually just a regular human on the other side.
Yeah.
And the other
Yeah.
thing is that we can deduct from that experiment is if there's someone taking the blame. So if you don't get punished for it, because in the experiment it was a guy in a lab coat. In internet is just the fact that nothing can really happen to you if you insult someone. Like,
Yeah.
worst thing is you get banned from the platform. You make a new email and a new
Make a
account, takes 2
new
minutes.
account and done. Yeah, exactly. And there's not really like a repercussion
Exactly.
as much. I also do want to add to that point is that during the whole epidemic, I think after, during, it's a lot worse. I think it's a lot worse than how it was before. I think I don't know necessarily where it's coming from,
Mm,
but I have also noticed that there's a lot of youngsters that if I was a parent, they should not be on Twitch,
mm,
and definitely not in an 18 plus stream. So we
mm,
are, as a streamer, also really trying to protect ourselves by making it 18 plus and doing
mm.
this or Discord or what, it doesn't matter what it is. But they still go through the little cracks, of course, you know. And in the end, we are the one to blame as a streamer if it goes wrong. Because if there's like a 15-year-old in my Discord or in my stream, then it's my fault eventually if I, you know, didn't ban them straight away or whatever. But it's also, I think it also starts from home that, you know, people that are from that such a young age are in streams like, you know, an 18 plus stream and stuff. It's so readily available to do that and so easy to do. I think
Yes.
it's a very scary thing.
Absolutely, it is. I can see like why it would be worse during the pandemic, because I assume the parents are also working from home. They
Yeah.
even have less time to monitor what their children are doing if they're at home, do like homeschooling, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, children are kind of locked up in school for a long time of the day, so it's easier to check what they're doing afterwards. But if
Yeah,
they
true.
never like leave the house, how are you supposed to monitor what your kids are doing?
It's very difficult, probably, yeah. But it's like it's more like it doesn't necessarily matter as much as that they are in my stream or whatever, you know. And then if nothing happens, and then if I don't know, okay, you know, because that happens too. But it's more about the aggressiveness and the hatefulness
Mm,
that comes from them. And I'm like, wow, how old are you? You know, like you're really young. Like
mm.
if I did something like that, woo, you know. And it's just I see it so much and I see it so often. It's very vicious, and that's kind of scary. It's getting worse and worse, I feel.
I think there's a lot of frustration that
Maybe
gets
so, yeah.
released towards us or generally towards other people on the internet.
Yeah. But
Um,
at the same time, Twitch is 13 plus or something.
yeah,
I think it is. Yeah, which is also probably a problem
sure, absolutely.
because I mean there are like nothing wrong with it, but there are streamers that are of course dressed in a different way or something, or they're doing
Mm,
different things. And can you imagine if you had a kid that is 13 years old watching that? You know, why? Because he says he is a certain age because he changed his details around. He used his mom's credit card. I don't know what he's doing, and then it's very easy to go in that person's stream.
sure.
That's scary. It is so easy.
And this is, I think this is another great topic that emerges from that, because
Yeah.
like how do you want to check, or like how do you want to find out how old someone is to be like eligible to watch something? Because in general, like the easiest way would probably send in your ID or something.
Hygiene, yeah.
But personally, I didn't want to send my ID to people randomly. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
with
hard.
with Twitch, they kind of have it anyways. Like when you get affiliate, they kind of know all your data anyways. But as a viewer, I would never get the idea to send my ID to Twitch.
No, because you don't really want to, which is an issue because like there's also like that freedom thing. But that's what I said. I think it's also a lot to do with the home situation and the parents' responsibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the age old question: who's responsible for like keeping children from doing what they want to do? Is it the law? Is it the companies, or is it the parents?
It's a bit of a combination.
I
I
would
think
say yeah.
I think everybody has their responsibility
Mhm.
to do right in the world.
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um, what I don't find fair is that, which happened before to streamers as well, is
Mhm.
that a very young person was in their Discord or in their Twitch stream, and they didn't know about it for a while,
Mhm.
and eventually they get a lot of hate for it because they didn't do anything about it, but they did not know necessarily.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, is that the streamer's fault necessarily? And because there's so much going on with streaming, I think a lot of people forget that there's so much going on with streaming, and there's so much you have to do and keep up with, that it's not always the streamer to blame, I feel.
I would agree on that. Like, I don't know. I've been modding a bit for several vape servers on Discord, and they
Yeah.
have like a similar issues with like people not being 18 plus.
Yeah.
But we also always had the policy, if people like are underage, it's their own work to keep people thinking they're not underage.
Yeah.
So
And that's the thing, because when I was young, which was 69 years ago, it was different because the thing was that it wasn't as readily available. It
mm,
wasn't such a thing that we do. We had MSN and we had stuff like that. Maybe even MySpace for some people that actually know. We didn't have all of this. We didn't.
mm,
It was a very different time and age, and it was very. I think it was better monitored as well. And now it's just you can do whatever you want to do on the internet without any repercussions, I feel, even though it's getting a little bit better. But yeah, definitely, it's a lot different than when I was young.
I would actually disagree on that part.
Really?
I would say it was less monitored, but there were less opportunities. Because like
Okay,
if I
that's an interesting point.
remember back for like it wasn't only MySpace and things, there was also things like Second Life.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
that was basically 0% monitored, and it
That is
was
true.
everything.
That is
Literally,
true.
whatever you could think of, it was available.
That is true, but I didn't have, like, for example, the newest iPhone.
Yeah.
I had a Nokia. I don't know. It was like a refrigerator. I wasn't on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mm,
wasn't doing stuff like that. I was playing outside. I was building trees, and I don't know what I was doing. But like stuff like that. I was outside trying to
mm,
make friends, getting bullied. Stuff like that. I wasn't, on Twitch trying to send hate to people or look at certain streamers that I was not supposed to look at. You know what I mean?
fair.
So yeah, I think that like in that aspect, it was monitored better
Mm,
because my parents didn't do all of that. And of course I did. I played certain games that I wasn't supposed to play, like GTA or
mm.
Medal of Honor when I was younger and stuff like that. But I think it's very different now.
What was the first game that you weren't supposed to play that you played?
GTA.
GTA? First one?
I think so. I think so. It's been a long time, so probably GTA. Yeah, I think it was GTA. Yeah, the very first one. Yeah, I was running over people. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. With my Mini Cooper. Yeah, I can remember that.
I think for me it was Resident Evil 2.
Wow.
And that actually spooked me for a long time. There was like one scene where Nemesis kills one dude, and that scene haunted me for a long while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, I was like 8 or something. Definitely too young for that shit, but a friend had the game and we were like, oh cool, this is his older brother's game that we need to play, definitely. Yeah, there we go.
What else did I play? Def Jam Fight for New York, I can remember that too. There was a lot of violence involved and I loved it, you know. I was playing it with my brother and everything, and I was definitely not supposed to play that. But yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, I used to play. Yep.
Yeah. How about movies? Were there movies that you watched way before you were allowed to?
Probably. Because the thing is, like, between me and my brother, there's like 6-year age difference. So he used to watch certain movies and stuff, and I wanted to sneak in and watch it with him, which he always like said, no, don't do it. And I still did, you know. But which one exactly, I don't know. Probably like American Pie, horror movies that I wasn't supposed to see that scared me to death. Like the Blair Witch Project, I can still remember. I was way too young to watch that. And I lived in a forest as well with my family. Yeah, It was terrible. It was not okay.
Oh God.
Yeah. And my brother told me as well, don't watch it. And I watched it and I was so scared. God, I was so scared. Yeah. It took a while.
I guess what was better about the time then is that when we watched something we were not supposed to watch, it only hurt ourselves. And it at least wasn't hurtful for other people.
And well, as well, but it didn't make me into a very angry, nasty person. Does that make any sense? Like it didn't want me to send hate to people.
Yeah.
I would never. I mean, I was scared. I was like, oh, what is that? Oh, you know, but not like, oh, let me send some hate right now. Let me go on Instagram on my brand new iPhone and send hate to people. Yeah. I think that's a big difference.
Sure. Willingly send hate I think is a way to express power for the people that used to have no deep pressure valve back in the days.
Yes. I think, like I said before, I think it comes from a lot of anger, a lot of unhappiness from a lot of people. But maybe even if it's like a younger person, they probably are very unhappy in their life. Maybe they get really extremely bullied at school. We don't know. And for them, that's like their way to express because they want to do it back because they can't do it in real life, so to speak. I think maybe something like that as well. There's always a reason, I feel, of why people do certain things. I mean, when I was sent hate by somebody, he was a grown man, you know, like I found out his name. I looked him up on Facebook because, yeah, FBI Stevie. But yeah, no, but I looked him up and everything because I was like, well, who is this guy? You know, and he had a family, he had a wife and everything. And he was just very, very upset that I was a better killer, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that happens. And so it doesn't always have to be the younger generation. It's also other people that apparently think they can hide behind the keyboard. And then they have their name in their profile on Instagram. And then you look them up on Facebook and find out. Yeah.
Well, that's actually super funny though.
Yeah, it is funny because I was shocked. I was like, wow, and you have children? You know, ooh, that's scary. But yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. Luckily, kind of, you know, I'm still growing with my platform and everything on different platforms, really. There are certain periods when, especially when there was a holiday or something with schools or whatever, there was a lot more hate, and now it's finally slowing down again. So I'm very happy about that, to be honest. So please keep it that way. Thank you. Yeah.
Great. How about from a like competitive standpoint? I remember you said that you kind of changed your ways into playing games more for fun. So yes. I assume there was a time where you played games more competitive. Did you get angry about your teammates, or did you let them know or something?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't let them know in that extreme sense, but I mean, when I was playing DBD, and when I was starting out Twitch, I always thought I had to be the best of the best, right? Because I was never good enough. So I always wanted to be the best killer. I wanted to be the best survivor. And when you had teammates, especially when I was trying to play offline, trying to get better at the game and everything. And I have to say, I was also mentally not like at 100% in my life. I was going through a lot. I was supposed to be engaged. I was supposed to get married and all that. And then COVID happened and all that. I lost my business, stuff like that. And I was playing DBD. So when people, for example, when I was doing like a solo queue thing and people didn't save me from the hook and I died again, and I really want to get to rank 1 and everything. And I got so frustrated and so angry. And then I realized eventually, especially when I started streaming and I looked back at my VODs, and I was like, why are you so angry? You know, like, why are you so upset? It's just the game, dude. And now I'm in a much better place in my life, which also really changes the way when you play certain games, how you react and how you respond on things, you know? And it really made me realize, like, if you don't like a game and it makes you so upset, you should stop playing, you know? And I think everybody still has that little thing that you get agitated or triggered or something, you know.
Absolutely.
And which is fine, because that is also gaming. Just don't go as far as sending people hate and calling them all the sorts of things. But yeah, it's sometimes people still trigger me, especially when I'm live streaming and they on purposely are camping or slapping me on the hook multiple times and shaking their head like, yeah, I got you and stuff. And I'm like, dude, come on. You know, like, stop. You know, it's just not like I'm getting really agitated. It's more like, why? Just because I'm a streamer, stop, dude. Let's just play the game. But if that would happen before, I would be angry. I would be like, why are you doing this? And stop it and stuff like that. I would not call them necessarily like all bad stuff. Like, also that happens, but you know, I wouldn't do that. But I would be agitated and frustrated. And yeah, I changed that, and it's a lot better. If you stop caring, they don't have that control over you. And then you have a lot more control over yourself and your content and everything. And yeah, and I told people, you know, that are probably also in this chat, they were like me. They were very competitive. They wanted to win. They wanted to be the best. They need to hit the 4K. And I told them, if you just stop caring, it is a lot more fun. And I think that was a really good advice, because a lot of people actually tried that and they enjoy DBD a lot more now.
Yeah, so. I can picture him. I made like my journey started a bit different in that case, because like before I played DBD, I spent like a lot of time in Dota and League of Legends. Like 10 years ago, League, but then Dota for like 5,000 hours.
10 years of League?
No, 10 years ago. I kind of stopped with League. I stopped with League 10 years ago. Like the game is already that fucking old. Every time I say things like that, I realize how old I am, and it's a bit spooky. But 2011, I stopped playing League. I started playing Dota, and like I was flaming. I was like really angry at people for not playing their best, and the most stupid part of that is I was playing like normal games. I'm not even playing ranked, so I was just angry about people not understanding the game and not listening to me. And I actually had a life-changing experience. And I was at some kind of like gamer camp thing that was for free, and we could get some free sleeping in Vienna, which is a cool city to visit. So we went there. And there I had to, like, I got my own team, and I needed to coach them to play the game. But like 2 of them, and we played Heroes of the Storm, which is the most casual MOBA you can play. So, but two people in my team never have touched a MOBA before. And the experience of trying to make them understand what is going on and how they have to play and how do they have to do things really like was an eye-opener for me, that like there's just people that are not like doing this to make me angry or like to troll or something. They just didn't know better.
I can see you sitting there like, well, yeah, like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, then it shows you, right? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
they are not doing it on purpose.
I was like,
Exactly.
it was like super friendly people, like all that. But I was saying things like, okay, now use your ability. What's an ability?
And you were
If
like,
you don't have
well,
mana, and they're like, what is mana? And I'm like, oh god, where do
yeah,
we
and
start?
yeah, and then you realize, oh, maybe I was a bit too
Exactly.
much. Yeah,
I never flamed anyone in a chat after that again.
Yeah.
So that was step one. I'm still trying the not taking things serious thing. It's not going too well, but I'm trying.
It is a process.
Yeah.
And especially if you're really used to playing on a competitive level, because you did DBD on a competitive level as well, right? Then suddenly changing that mindset, like have fun. How do you do that? You know, because it's so like in your system. So yeah.
All right. We had some comments in chat. Years ago, I didn't turn my microphone on because if I did, there were instantly guys doing jokes and saying stupid stuff. For example, we're losing because we're playing with a girl. I know DBD doesn't have open mic, but did you experience that in other games?
Oh yeah. Which one was that? I think, was it Counter-Strike or something, or Call of Duty? I can't even remember. But yeah, they heard I was a girl, and it was just bad. It's just like, oh, because of you we lost, or stuff like that. But that was a long time ago, and again, I was very young, and I was like, uh-oh, you know. But and then I really never liked it as much. I think, was it also, I can't even remember. But there were a couple games, yeah. And then I kind of never played on the VC comp thingy ever again. No.
Understandable.
That's why I think DBD, you know, when people say like, oh, we should do that to DBD. No, we should not. No, we should not. Nope.
It's a double-edged sword, definitely.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good idea.
It's probably not, even though I would have a lot of fun with proximity voice chat in DBD.
That is true. But I don't think for like the health
definitely
of the game and stuff, it's not good. Why? Because they can still go to, you can make like, I made friends through DBD. I know it's crazy, but I made friends through DBD, and we got into a Discord together. We've played for hours and hours and hours together, and we met in the game. So that is also a possibility, and I think it should stay that way.
Yeah, understandable. So I personally have or noticed that the men gatekeeping video games thing has gotten better. How would you see that?
It has gotten better because people open up now, because people are not afraid anymore to not say anything. I think before, when you would say something, you would receive a lot of hate. And now I think, also from men and everything, I think there's a lot of positivity of them also backing girls up, you know, like, hey, this is not okay. And there's a lot of commercials right now going around as well that, you know, when you are in a friend group or something, and as a guy, then you tell your friend, hey, stop doing that, you know, or something, you know. And I think there's a very positive change. Are we there yet? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, because, you know, still as a Twitch streamer, the other day, actually, I haven't told anybody this, but I was somewhere, and there was a young guy. He was 15. He asked me, oh, you're a streamer? And I was like, yes, I'm a streamer. And he was like, oh, do you have OnlyFans? First question. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, wow. And then the parents were there, and he, this is true story, I swear. And the parents were there. They asked me, what is that? And I was like, it's like, you know, a site where women, maybe not necessarily, but most of the time, post like, you know, naked pictures or something like that. And they earn money with that, which is nothing wrong with it. But I do feel that your son should definitely not know this, you know, and I don't think it's very appropriate for your son to even ask me that question. And they were like, oh, wow, okay. And I was like, how does he even know this? You know, and apparently he was on different Discords, and he was on Twitch and in different streamers and stuff. And yeah, but that was the first question. And that's
actually insane. As like the first connection to woman streaming is OnlyFans. Holy shit.
I mean, I had it a lot. Like, I think one of my moderators are in here. I had it a lot. Do you have OnlyFans? Or they do like the exclamation mark OnlyFans and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't. You know, I have Fanus. But no, but I don't do that, and I think just because I am a good-looking girl on the internet that plays games that necessarily also has sexual explicit content, but I don't, and I don't understand why there's a mindset of people thinking that every girl has that. Like, why? I'm not asking you, Deevoz, if you have that. I'm not going to go to a different guy's stream and like, oh, do you have that?
I've been actually asked before, but
really? Okay, so where is it? Let me do the comment. No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not as often that
Definitely,
you probably get that. Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's weird. Deevoz in his mind, little did she know. I think there's nothing wrong with it.
The point of knowing about OnlyFans is also a bit of a pop culture thing, but at least in Germany there are a couple like songs even about people making money off OnlyFans. I don't know if that's a German only thing, but like those got like real like a million clicks and more.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's very out there, but I just thought it was weird that a 15-year-old guy is oh, you're a streamer? Or do you have this?
It's definitely a super weird and awkward question.
Yeah, very, very strange. It made me feel really weird. I was like, what? Did he just ask me? Because you don't ask that to anybody, like he asked them like, hey, how are you? Instead of that. It's just so weird to me. I don't know.
Just immediately start that topic.
Yeah, it's just so weird. Yeah.
Did you ever have it that people went like really creepy with their messages or like their movement towards you?
Well, I have to watch out what I say.
Sure.
Yeah. It even got that far that I got blackmailed. So,
holy shit.
Yeah. And that is something that I wish I would have known before starting streaming. The dangers of the internet, the dangers of trusting people that you think you know and you don't. And that is something I wish there was like a manual, like the old like that Twitch gives you or something, or that you can find somewhere that says like watch out for this and that, don't trust people the whole time, and don't forget that DMs can get screenshotted and they can be used against you and stuff. Like I was always that person that, because I'm older, I always thought like every conversation I have, even if it's with you in DMs or if it's with somebody else in DMs, it's sacred. That is between you and that person. Especially if you're in a relationship with somebody as well. But apparently nowadays that is not the thing anymore. That is not something that is like a unwritten rule. It is something that is being used also on Twitter against people to cancel them, And I'm like, but wow, okay. So everything you say on the internet nowadays, it can be used against you. And that is something that with streaming, I would have loved to know before. Was I maybe ignorant? Was I maybe very naive? Yes. But I was too good. I was like too good, and I believed in the good of people.
Yeah.
And that backfired massively. Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's definitely a thing I would have loved to, like some kind of guide on how to stream.
Yeah. Like the dangers, like, hey, watch out or something, or stuff like that. Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, yeah, you can just talk to me or whatever, or why are certain streamers shutting off their DMs or stuff like people don't get it, because they don't know all of this. They don't know the dangers as much or how scary it can be or even can get. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you see so much on the internet as well, right? I think you saw it too. Oh, streaming is so easy. You just play a game. You turn on the computer and play a game. But they have no idea how much more it is. And how scary and how hard it can be. So, yeah.
What would be the top 3 things you wanted to tell someone? Or like you wanted to tell your younger self before starting?
Streaming?
Yeah.
Ooh. I have a list. No. Okay. Top 3?
Yeah.
Believe in yourself more. Don't trust anybody. Yeah. Have fun in what you do, but also be very careful.
I think this is a very good point.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, the whole getting cancelled over something that you said a while ago,
Yeah.
is also kind of a dangerous thing, especially if you recall like how much language changed in the last 10 years. There were like words
Definitely.
that were 100% fine to say, or like at
Back
least
then.
95% fine to say back like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and currently they get you like basically cancelled and have a big shitstorm about.
Definitely. And I also think what people forget is a cultural difference. What we say in the Netherlands and in Germany is different than what we say, for example, in America, right?
Definitely.
Because the Germans and Dutch people are very direct.
Mm.
The same, that's why we also connect really well with, for example,
Mm.
English people, because they're also very direct. But sometimes in America, right, that some things are like, oh, that's very direct. And I'm like, yeah, but, it's normal for us, you know? But it's also a learning curve. It's a learning process. And I don't think it's sometimes fair. It really depends on the situation. So please don't get it wrong.
Mm.
But I think a lot of people, I was a different person 2 years ago,
Yeah.
you know? I was a different person 10 years ago.
Mm.
And I grew a lot, even in the last year or not even the last 4 months,
Mm.
I was a different person because of my situation. So I really don't think it's fair to sometimes really I don't believe in the whole cancel culture. I believe in
Mm.
second chances.
Generally,
So,
just having a talk with each other instead of making it like some kind of public shitstorm is, in my eyes, the
um,
better way to deal with things.
yes, but some of the public shitstorms makes people famous.
Yeah, true. I mean,
So
there's definitely things where public shitstorm was kind of the correct thing to do. I would also agree with that. Like
yeah.
with the whole Me Too thing, but for example.
Yeah, which is of course very, very different. Like, but that's the thing. Like, it really depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I don't think if we get into a fight or something or an
Mm.
argument or something, it should
Yeah.
not be a public thing. It
No.
should be, listen, Deevoz, let's talk about it. Let's you and me, let's talk about it, or
Yeah.
through DMs or whatever, and just like have a personal conversation instead of me blasting all your DMs on the internet. Be like, oh, he's such an asshole, and then we talk again, and then we're fine.
Yeah.
That's not. Let's cancel Deevoz. Like that's it's just not. Why? You
Yeah.
know?
There's nothing really to. I mean, probably there's
No.
PR to win, but for what? At what cost?
Yeah. Because I think it's very dangerous. Because of course, if certain people make mistakes, which is also is happening,
Mm.
there's people that make mistakes online on their live stream or whatever, and there's YouTube videos about it, and they get canceled. They
Mm.
get a shit ton of hate. Were they wrong? Yes.
Mm.
Do they deserve this? Probably not.
Mm.
Why? Because I feel that people need to learn from their mistakes. People need to grow,
Mm.
and they need to have the ability to grow. They need to have a second chance, depending on what it is,
Mm.
um, so that they can learn from their mistakes and grow and be better and
Mm.
help others that are maybe the same as them and be an example of how to mess up and actually make it better. And what we see now is a cancel culture of like spreading hate a lot and destroying that person
Mm.
completely. And I'm like, well, isn't that the same thing? Like, isn't that what we're supposed like not to do? Like, we shouldn't do that at all, you know? Which I think is very dangerous as well, because that person can maybe go through a very, very hard time,
Mm.
and it can go very, very far, And again, we're forgetting also that person is a person, and
Yeah.
human, that maybe was going through a lot, and he should have the ability to apologize and learn. I think everybody should.
Yeah. So there's like two things that jump to mind with that for me. Like the first is how much shit does someone need to get to understand it's been a mistake, but not getting cancelled? Because I think if there's no real repercussion, as we had like talked about before, like how big of a backlash does someone need to understand it's a mistake and to like grow from it?
I just think sometimes it goes way too far.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that, there's YouTube videos about if somebody, destroying somebody else that was just a little streamer,
Yeah.
And because they were a bigger streamer, they destroyed the absolute shit out of them.
Yeah.
Is that smart? Absolutely not. Do you have an example to show to your community and everybody else? Absolutely.
Mm.
Was that dumb? Absolutely. But to send that person such an amount of hate,
Yeah.
and to tell him that he needs to kill himself and all that stuff, like that goes way too far. That's not what we should do. We should make that person know like what you're doing is messed up and you should suffer the consequences. But doesn't necessarily mean that we also start doing the exact same thing and start spreading hate and all that and destroy that person mentally as well. I think that's wrong. I think that's very wrong. And
Definitely.
I don't think that's, even with those YouTube videos, that's not what they want either. They want to call somebody out so that they have an opportunity to apologize and be like, I messed up, I need to do better, and I hope you guys can give me that chance, you know?
However, I kind of want to blame the creators of such YouTube videos. I know the DBD community has a couple. I know other communities do too. But I don't like, if you are a YouTube content creator and you have like, I don't know, 200,000 subs watching your content, you should know what happens if you start to public blame someone. I mean...
Then you're true, but then don't give them that. Don't give them that. If they don't have that content, then they can't create it.
Fair. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that that doesn't really help people get second chances if they're getting called out like that.
It does make me scared.
Exactly.
It does make me scared. You know, like, and I'm like, oh, did I say anything wrong? Did I do something wrong? But is it good to call people out? Yes. But then, like I said, the aftermath, I don't necessarily believe that those content creators want the cancel culture and send them hate and all that stuff. But do people sometimes need to be put on the spot and get called out? Yes. But I don't know. And like I said, the entire cancel culture is the one that I do not agree with. Because even those people, no matter if you like them or not, also worked very hard for something.
Yeah. Like I played against one of those content creators once in DBD, and after I realized I was kind of, oh god, did I say something weird?
Yeah. Did you say something wrong? Did you do anything? Yes.
Well, I did disconnect. But to be fair, someone else disconnected before me, and I was like, do I really want to get slugged and wait until he hooks me? And this was a time of no DC penalty too, so
yeah.
The DC finger was very fast in these times, especially if someone else already went missing.
Like, it really depends. Like, stuff like that, I think is very small. But somebody is like, you know, what we've seen, trashing somebody, trying to, you know, tell them live on Twitch to kill themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's mental.
That goes way too far. Yeah.
I would say, like, in general, if anyone ever suggests people killing themselves, they should take a break.
I had that a lot. I had that a lot too. You know, when I was playing Huntress or whatever. Even when I was playing Survivor and I still died. I still got it. You know, I still got it. So you can't win. You cannot always win. But that goes too far, especially when a bigger streamer is attacking a small streamer, or even small streamer is attacking a bigger streamer. We saw that as well. You know, and nobody deserves that, no matter how big or small you are. You know, because you're belittled, you are trashed. You know, you're getting trashed, and it's very sad. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if they called out, I understand what you mean, but I also feel like you have a certain responsibility. And I think a lot of people need to be humbled sometimes.
I would definitely agree on that. The only thing that I find a bit of a double-edged thing is doing it public.
But you're a streamer. You are public.
Absolutely.
Do I agree with you? Yes, I do agree with you. But which also makes it very scary, right? The whole aftermath thing. I do not agree with the whole, you know, trash talking and canceling. But if you just be a good person, and not do that, then they don't have content either.
Fair.
So if you don't do all of that, you know, then you should be fine.
Sure. Did you, like, on that topic, did you ever have to deal with hate rates?
Yes. Yep. Because I've you know, the LGBTQ tag, I've in it. Not only that, I also had it because I was a really good killer bane.
Fair.
I had it too. I had it to be probably, I'm assuming here, but I think so, because I was a girl and I just started. I think I was doing a 12-hour stream for the first time ever, because I think I had like 200 followers or something, and I was doing a 12-hour stream back then, and I got hate rated. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well. Yeah, because and I, of course, back then did not know really, what to do, but which is sad to say, but you get used to it.
Mm.
And that's very sad,
It is.
actually, to say that you get used to it, But it's part of it, I guess. And I think we need to accept it, which is also very sad to even say.
Absolutely. I luckily never got hate rated. Someone sent me follower bots about being angry after being angry that I played Killer in Dead by Daylight. I had that happen.
Yeah.
I got like some creepy DMs. Some also just like randomly sending flirty messages until I said, please don't. I'm not interested in this. Please leave.
Don't. Please don't.
I do not enjoy this. So it is definitely you get some weird experiences in all that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I said. To go back to your question, I would have loved to know all of that beforehand.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Deevoz, please come to bed with me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You said another interesting thing earlier about you thought you need to be the best at the game to be a streamer.
Yeah.
And this is a thing that I notice a lot with smaller streamers, but also bigger streamers, that they have the idea that they can only be a good content creator if they are absolutely top notch at the game.
Yeah. Which,
now,
yeah, true.
I would heavily disagree with that.
Yes. Now I learned. Now I know that people don't watch me because I'm such an amazing killer. Mm-hmm. They watch me because, I don't know, actually, please tell me. No, they watch me because of my background, my face, my energetic vibe or something. I don't know, because I'm a nice person. I don't know. Maybe because I like to farm them in DBD. I don't know. No, but I learned that there's so much more to only do that.
Yeah.
So,
and yeah. I think this is a bit from the old days of Twitch. Like if you think on the first 2, 3, or even 4 years of Twitch, basically everyone there was some kind of either esports legend or just someone that is like immensely good.
Yeah.
And like being a streamer because you, I don't know, have a vibrant personality or something else that's great about you is a thing that started way later.
I think so too. Yes, 100%. Yeah. I think now a bit of, well, I don't want to call it a trend, but more like is acceptable is be yourself, like, and people want that. They don't necessarily want to look at somebody that is extremely good at the game. They just want to go somewhere they feel safe and at home. And I think that is something that, that is changing or is changed. And I think a lot of people want that more now, more than ever, I think.
Absolutely.
Something like they want to watch when they get home from school, or if they're having a bad day, or they can laugh or just feel at home somewhere. And I think that is something, that is like a new thing that wasn't back in the day as much than how it is now, I think.
It's kind of Twitch went from an educational platform to more of a community center.
Yeah, I mean that, and there's different things as well on Twitch. So it's not only education. Well, I mean, depends if you look at it, if it's educational, but
it's all about the education.
Yeah. No, but it's very different than how it was before, definitely.
Absolutely.
Hackathon gameplay, no, but yeah, I think it changed a lot, definitely, yeah. But even this, like, it's just like talking about things, or just a lot of things are going on. This is also educational, but it's also fun, and it makes people maybe feel at home or feel like they can talk about something as well. And, and more of a connecting with the streamer type deal. Yeah.
Just having, I think it's also like a thing of being less alone, especially if like COVID was a major catalyst for this, because a lot of people all of a sudden had to isolate, didn't really have options to go outside anymore.
True.
But they like, everyone craves some kind of social interaction.
Yeah definitely. I think, because the same as well, why we see a lot of younger-ish people on the platform more than ever, is because when we were young, we went out clubbing till 5 a.m. in the morning and go to McDonald's until 8 and then go home and sleep and stuff like that. They never had that ability or thing to do for what, 2.5 years?
Mm.
Okay, imagine you turned 18 and you had nowhere else to go. You had to be at home. And I know as well it's very difficult nowadays to make new friends. And I think society really changed,
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people are lonely, 100% lonely, don't have a lot of friends. And yeah, they are trying to find that through us as a streamer or through Twitch as a platform.
I'm really, really happy that I went to college before COVID.
Yeah.
Because that whole time would have been a lot less fun with COVID.
Yeah.
Because like
you probably couldn't do all the things that
exactly.
you've done, and that's what I mean. Like a lot of people that went through college or are going through college still can't do all the things that we did.
Exactly.
I also don't recommend certain things, but they couldn't have done, all the things that makes you how you are now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, they had to do it from home.
Exactly. And it's way different. And it must be horrible to be in college but not have all these social party aspects that we had, or in general that you tend to have when you're in college.
Yeah, but like traveling and making friends and going out clubbing or just going for dinners or going for a picnic somewhere. I don't know. You couldn't.
Exactly.
So yeah.
What are those things now? We don't need to talk about it. If you have like any general advice also, as you wish.
Advice of not to do?
Yes.
I do not.
Okay, perfect.
No, do everything you want to do because you only live once.
Yeah, and I think
I regret things that I haven't done. So, because now I'm old and dying. No, but I mean, I'm aging. I am aging. I notice, okay, people are going to laugh, but it's true. When I drink a bottle of wine now or something, I have to recover for like 5 weeks. If I go out clubbing until, that was a joke. If I go clubbing until 4 a.m. in the morning, the next day I'm like, I'm an old lady. And before, when I was like 21 or 22 or something, the next day, if I only slept for 2 hours, I was like, hello, I was fine. So I definitely think everybody should try and live their life how they want to, when you have the ability to, and when you still can. Because once you get older, you have different responsibilities and things that you have to do, and you can't just do everything you want to anymore. So,
yep,
yeah, definitely.
By the way, do everything does not include murder.
I'm a killer main in DBD. Just saying, so it's very bad coming from me. No, I'm joking, but just like have fun, like do things that you want to do, even if it's just a study, educational thing, or even if it's a course you want to take, or if it's one sport you want to do, or go on a certain holiday. Do it. Just do it. So.
I also noticed the getting older thing with me. Like back in the days, I never had like any hangovers, and I don't know. I've done some drinking on Friday, and I took like the complete Saturday to get back to a normal shape. It's been I don't know. It's kind of rough.
It's different.
Yeah,
it is actually different because now I know what my parents always said. Like when I said, I'm getting older, they always like wait until you're my age, And now I understand what they're trying to say now.
I never had a hangover with 22 either. V. That started later.
Yeah, you can't just recuperate as fast.
It's just like you drank like a coffee and the next day and it was fine.
It was fine, yeah. Definitely.
But things changed. All right. Is there... You didn't drink enough. Okay. Is there anything that you want to add or where you feel like we should talk about it?
No, not necessarily. If there's anything you want to talk about, still.
I think I'm kind of good. Any questions in chat that we need to talk about still?
Here they come.
Let's go. Have you guys talked? about the accusation of women growing quick on platforms like Twitch? I actually saw your TikTok on that topic.
All right. Let me be clear. Let me be very clear. I work just as hard as everybody else does. Let me be very clear with that, because every streamer works their ass off. Okay, doesn't matter how big, how small. Just because you're bigger, you have a bigger responsibility, but doesn't necessarily mean you can just slack. I am not one of those streamers that shows my body or whatever. I mean, I'm in a t-shirt now. I don't know if that counts.
I think t-shirt is kind of a fine wear too.
Oh, is that okay?
It's okay, I guess.
No, but I got accused. Okay, let me tell my story.
Yeah, sure.
I got accused of getting bigger because I have a pretty face. Let me be very clear. Just because you have a pretty face, and also thank you, but just because you have a pretty face doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make it. That's absolute bullshit. Does it sometimes make it easier that you have a pretty face and show your body and all that stuff? Yes, but there's also a lot of consequences attached to it that a lot of people don't think about at all. You know, like the creepy stuff that we talked about, or not trying to be that person, but you know. I mean, but I know a lot of examples of people that started out like that and now have a huge community, even if they're just playing in their PJs. So, yeah, I don't agree.
All right.
Is it sometimes? I mean, yes and no. Sometimes it gets easier for them, that they have a lot of views and everything, but is it necessarily that they want those people in their community? No. Do I think it's easier for girls on Twitch? Why? I'm still waiting for the why. Because we have a pretty face and have like nothing to tell, or have nothing to talk about, or are really bad at the game, and my quality of mic is shit, and it's blasting your ears out. You still want to watch me because I have a pretty face? You know, like it's just not. It just doesn't make any sense.
I would actually say good audio is one of the most important things as a Twitch streamer. Because, like, a lot of people, like, watch you on the second screen while they're doing, I don't know, Lost Ark dailies or something. And if you have, like, bad audio, they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, not specifically you, but you as a streamer, also me, obviously. Didn't want to make any accusations here. Just, I think good audio is damn important.
100%. I mean, I've been to streams that was also a female. But their quality of mic was so bad that I couldn't listen to it. You know, I went to different streams of guys and everything else, and it was like so harsh. I couldn't listen to it, and people click away.
Yeah, and it's especially weird. Like, I don't know. So I sometimes have that when I like visit a person that's been in my stream, and I'm checking their stream out, and then I think like, okay, how do I go on about that? I don't really want to call them out in chat. I could send them a DM afterwards, being like, hey, your sound is like super wonky. You should better fix that. But if you kind of didn't talk to them about it for like too long, it becomes ultra weird to then say, hey, I've been here for 2 months, but hey, your audio is kind of bad. Let me help you fix it.
You know, I think that's the thing, is very kind of difficult, but I do know that as a streamer, if I'm talking for myself then, if there's something wrong with my stream, please tell me, because that actually benefits you in the end. Do people get upset about it? Some of them do, because it's like, oh, you know, but it's all meant from a good place, you know. So
definitely,
I think you definitely should tell people that. Yeah,
I always give people feedback and just assume they appreciate it. that works.
Yeah, but yeah, the girl thing, the accusations, I don't know. It's a very delicate, difficult subject. Very, very difficult. I also sometimes even think that as a female now, a woman on the internet, have a big disadvantage because it's just another one. It's just another one that is going to be like that, and is, you know, going to wear skimpy clothing, and it has an OnlyFans, and, you know, like what happened to me as well, that the first question I get asked, do you have OnlyFans as a streamer? I think it's a big disadvantage too, and I don't think people see that or that we talk about enough.
So As a disclaimer before my next question, I think it is absolutely fine if people want to market themselves on OnlyFans, earn money with that, 100% fine. But would you say because of that it got harder to be like a woman content creator if you're not going that route? Did that change anything, or does it not affect it?
It does affect it in the way that people expect you to. Like, for example, when I was making a fan house, people thought like, oh, she's going to do spicy content. You know, and that was the people when people started subbing to me and they only saw dog pictures and food. They were actually, some of them were mad. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. They sent me a message saying like, you don't do spicy things. I'm like, no, I show
spicy
you my
dog
dog
pictures.
Marley. Yeah. You know, and yeah. So does it affect it? Yeah. But who's the at fault here? You know, it's not the people doing it. It's the people that, feel that every female content creator needs to do that. You know, there are a lot of free sites as well, just saying. Doesn't necessarily, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that I, as a female content creator, need to do that.
Absolutely.
That's not my problem. That's your problem. You know what I mean? So it's so to blame everything on everybody, maybe we should start looking at ourselves first.
Absolutely.
I would love seeing dog pictures. Exclamation mark fan house. No. But
we'll get to that part in a moment. Okay. So yeah, let's wrap this up. Please tell everyone how they can keep up with you and what you do in the internet.
What do I do? So pretty much I mainly play Dead by Daylight, sometimes different games as well. And you can find me on Twitch, on Instagram, and on TikTok and on Twitter. And I try to create a very wholesome community. We can laugh a lot. We can be talking to each other in a fun and good way, but also be there for each other when life gets really rough. And we try to, you know, make a little bit of a difference in the world. And I try to be, together with the community, try to be a light for people that need it. So.
Would absolutely agree on that. You're one of the most positive content creators I've ever met, especially in the DVD community.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. I'll be cutting the episode soon. It should be up this night. And I'll provide you all with the links. And thank you for being here, Stevie. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed listening to episode 4 of Mental Perspectives. If you want to keep up with the things that my guest or I do in the internet, check the show notes or the description. There's links to everything. If you want to be part of the next episode and ask your own questions, follow me on Twitch, jump on the Discord or the Twitter, and get the dates. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.